Hi, this is Cherie with Rehashfiber. Today I want to share with you the Turkish Spindle. This is an extremely fun, very peaceful and soothing activity. I find spinning very relaxing and an enjoyable process. All the different spinning I do on the different things, from the e-spinner to the great wheel to the spindles. The act of spinning puts you in a wonderful flow state. The drafting and the spinning just feels great, and you get immediate gratification because you make yarn immediately. And it's just really fun to see fiber turn into yarn. So the Turkish is special because not only is it about the spinning, and for me, and the images that I saw on Instagram of the beautiful kaleidoscopes that are created from spinning on the Turkish spindle, excited me to want to do that. I saw the beauty of the color and I saw the challenge and I thought, I have got to do this. I had a very cheap Turkish spindle from the internet because I was afraid to invest if I didn't know if I was going to like it. And then I found out it just didn't quite work the way I wanted it to work. I was worried about it coming apart because some of the ends had thick parts on it, and I was like, how is this going to come out when I'm done? So once I knew I did enjoy the act of spinning on a Turkish spindle, I purchased a very good one from KCL Woods. I saw their ad in a magazine and their wood items are just beautiful. And my other top whirl spindle with the polymer clay in the whirl are my two spindles that I go to. When I'm speaking of the Turkish spindle, I'm speaking from my viewpoint. You may use it for a different way or may want to. Once you learn it, you may want to use it in a different way. For me, it's the joy of the spinning and the fun of the wrap. There's a way to wrap. It's not hard, but it's good to know that you can make the beautiful kaleidoscopes if you have fiber that varies in color. This is not a speedy process. This may take me a whole year. However, I don't do this all the time. I do this just when I feel like I just want to spend that concentrated time with spinning and wrapping and then seeing the pretty design pop. So it's not about speed at all. It's about just enjoyment of your time. And you do get something in the end. You do get yarn. It's also fun because look how portable it is. You can take it anywhere. I do want to show you this really fun fiber that I'm working with. This is my year of the spindle, 2020. And it's kind of interesting because so far all of the fiber that I've purchased to spin has been from Fabris Fibers. This one is Chromatophobia Pink and it's just super fun. Look at this. So the color change is going to be phenomenal. This year the only other thing that I've spun besides Fabris Fibers is my own fiber, but I found this is more fun because everything I get has color change. It makes spindle spinning so much more fun. This is all you need to use the Turkish spindle. It's awesome, so little. All right, so when your spindle comes, and I'm gonna show you this amazingly beautiful wood spindle from KCL Woods. It's gorgeous. First thing you do is put one of the arms through the other. You'll see the hole in the middle. Before I put the center spindle in, I want to put the leader in. I'm going to thread it through and just leave enough down here. This can always be trimmed. Then I'm going to put the spindle through, and as you see, it holds it securely. I don't want too much of this because it's going to make it super bulky in the wrap, and with this I happen to be spinning very thin. So what I am going to do is I'm going to trim the extra off. You just want to be able to find it if you want to do a center pull. when you're done with your turtle wrap. Okay. So now we have a leader here. So to make the loop to put on the top of your spindle, hold it like so, stick your finger under the fiber and turn it. You see how this is coming over that one? Turn it again so your finger is away from you. Put it over the top of the spindle. If you have an indentation, that's where it sits. Otherwise, just somewhere near the top. And pull it secure. And now we're ready to spin again. To get the fiber ready, I like to work with narrow strips. Everybody's different. There's no right or wrong way. However, I just like to have a simple, light amount to work with. Then I pre-draft, which means pulling it apart just a little bit. That makes it easier when I'm drafting during the spin, because then it's not thick and hard to maneuver. This fiber from Fabris Fibers was very good. Some of the stuff that I've had for a while in my own stock and then dyed got very dense and tight because it was a little bit old. This is good. Now, I wrap it around my arm so that it will not dangle in the line of the spin, because you don't want it to catch in the spin or it just gets really messed up. Now, like I said before, I don't want too much of this leader because it's just going to be very bulky at the base there. So I'm going to trim this much. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to place this in here and just wrap it around it. Now I'm going to start the spin. And you will see the twist start to go in, but you do want to support it the entire time. You see twist going in. Keep supporting it. Hold that. There you go. It's catching. I still don't like to put a whole lot of weight on it because this is still very fragile, and you see how it wants to counter spin right away. All right, so then what we're going to do is I'm going to do a little bit longer and then we're going to wrap. All right, so we have the leader on there. We're going to give it a spin, get some more twist in it. It got a little bit tight. There we go. Okay, we're going to start wrapping because I don't like that vulnerable area there. Between my fingers, this hand is controlling the twist, not going into the draft zone. Now it's going in. This hand controls so the twist does not go into this fiber here. If you let that happen, you'll have a thick, hard mess to draft. And this part right here is the part that is so much fun. The yarn is being made right between your fingers. Now I'm going to show you what I do when I want to bring this spindle back to my hands so I can wrap. I just lay the fiber over my hand and I wrap it between like this. And the yarn is now strong enough that it won't break and it will bring this Turkish spindle back up to me. Now that I have it here, I am ready to loosen this and start the intricate wrap of the turtle. If you start spinning with the Turkish spindle, just know that you can wrap it absolutely any way that you want. All it is about having fun and spinning. This is your hobby, this is your craft. You are free to do it however you want. People do things for different reasons. I've seen wraps all different ways. I've seen completely unorganized wraps. So what? They're happy and they're getting it done faster. I've seen them wrap differently than I know how to. So it doesn't matter. Learn different ways. Have fun spinning. I'm just going to show you how to do the kaleidoscope wrap. And this is what brings me joy because it's methodical wrap and it looks so pretty if you have a fiber that does color change. So here we go. We've gone under one, we're going to go over two, and it's going to go right near the spindle. When you place it here, It doesn't matter so much now, but as you get a bigger turtle, you start with the outer and work its way in on the underneath part. So we're under 1 and we're going over 2, right next to the spindle. Now, what you want to do is once you already have fiber there, you want to start to lay it next to the previous strand. So you see, I'm laying it right next to the previous strand. For the Turkish, I spin clockwise. It's an easy flick of the fingers and off it goes. And it will do this for quite some time. You can feel the spin go into the fiber. Now here's where the drafting comes in. This hand is controlling the spin that will go into this. I'm going to draft by pulling the fibers apart. I'm going to control it right here so it can't go any further than my fingers. And some of the spin will go into it. I need to add a little more spin. Now the spin's into that. Every time your fingers grab, they're controlling where the spin is going. Always control it so it does not go into this, or you will have a chunky, hard mess to deal with and to pull apart. That got a little bit tight. This is the draft, pulling it apart, letting the spin go in. Pull it apart, draft, spin, go in. We need more spin. Don't worry if it breaks and falls down. My spindles fall down more often than I would like, but it happens. And what's really cool is you can just keep on going. And I like to get a lot in so that when I get to wrapping, I can just get in the zone of wrapping. I do it till I can't reach either end. All right, we're to the point where I'm not going to go any further. I'm going to wrap it around my fingers. So I spun out about 2 or 3 feet, wrapped it around my fingers, and I'm ready to do the wrap on the Turkish spindle or the turtle. Gently take it off the top. You can see I have a nice turtle in mid-progress. So always remember you go under 1, over 2 of the arms. You lay the yarn right next to the previous yarn. You see how it's slow and controlled, but very relaxing. It almost feels like, I don't know, when you do something else very slow and controlled and you are creating something pretty. It's just fun. But what also is nice about it is that it's simple so that you can be with a group of people and still be carrying a conversation and doing this, keeping busy. It's very nice. You see how I just keep going under 1, over 2 and laying it right next to the previous strand. It's fun because you can see the previous kaleidoscope of color is getting covered up by the new kaleidoscope of color. It's just kind of cool how that happens. So I did have the situation of the fiber breaking apart. I put a nice twist in it until we got towards the end here. You want to leave the last couple inches fluffy, and you want to separate both ends and get them mushed together and intertwined. That way when the twist comes, it will just twist all these together. You can see that this layer is all nearly filled up. Very pretty colors. I've gone under the 1, and now you see how wide it's getting. When your yarn starts touching the arms of the Turkish is when you're getting really close to starting over from the center point of your wrap. So you see how each arm I go over, it's getting very close. That one is spilling over onto the wood. So that's telling me I'm gonna have to start from the middle pretty soon. I'm just gonna go over all of these until they're all touching the wood. All right, look at that beauty. So fun to do. Okay, now we're going to start back in the middle. So now the wrap is touching the wood arms on each wrap, so it's time to go back to the middle. So let's see, we're going to go over these two, under this one, but now we're going to come back to the center post. So when we wrap underneath, we're going to bring it to the furthest point out in the arm where the yarn is. We're going to bring it directly up and over. It's going to touch the center spindle. And it's going to come all the way over, and yes, it does bend, and it wraps under this arm on the outermost part. Comes right up under, touches the spindle. Going over two, under one, outermost part, comes up, touches spindle, outermost part, under one, over two, always, comes up, touches the inner spindle, outermost part, and now we have one complete rotation of wrap. And just continue the wrap, laying the yarn right next to the previous yarn strand. This turtle is as big as I want to make it on this Turkish spindle, so I'm going to show you how to take it apart. You pull the middle stick out, then you pull one of the arms out. You just have to wiggle to see which one comes. This is the one that is fitting through this one. Just give it a little pull. So then you can pull the last arm out. And there you have it. There is the turtle from the Turkish spindle. It's ready to ply.